The Zaldello Shared Association brings together the inhabitants of 3 villages, and we want to form them into a small community that thinks consciously, relies on each other, and communicates well. We would like to help them with programs, collections, and of course try to answer their questions. The association has the possibility to broadcast on the radio, and we also run a social media platform. We are constantly talking about these issues on both communication platforms, and it is very important to educate people. We tell them what the carbon footprint is, how they can calculate it, what they can do in small, everyday steps to reduce their carbon footprint. Our association started from a small eco-initiative where we held and still hold sessions for mothers, heads of households, mainly women, where this topic is also discussed, the calculation of the carbon footprint and the practice of ways to reduce it. The focus is on reuse, not recycling. There are so many items available from the time the baby is due, and in this it shapes mothers' attitudes to preparing from pregnancy and raising the baby in the first few years in a way that is sustainable for this generation, which is what sustainability is all about. The advantage is that we live in a small community, so we meet people, and when we organize events, the number of people who come and respond in any way is also a feedback. But I think it's a much bigger feedback when people ask us to organize something to them. For example, we have held collections, collecting jeans or paper to be recycled into objects. People would like to have this collection again and again because they already put these items aside and don't put them in the recycling or not in the bin. Either they tell us that they have contacted the entrepreneur that we have introduced them to who uses these collected items, or they tell us that they have followed the path that we have shown them. It may be just a tiny bit of feedback, but it is so spontaneous and so honest. I think there are many more examples like this in our environment, but not everyone comes to us to tell them. For me, it works better in online media as there are more opportunities to give feedback than in the work of the association. At school, when we go to give workshops, we've had the experience in the last month or two with the little ones, primary school children in lower grade, that they've been practically teaching us. They knew so much. There's always a little smarty in the class, but there were a lot of smart pupils who were telling their own drills. With the teenagers, we see that they are reluctant to respond, they find it harder to collaborate. At the same time, we feel less knowledge there. They don't have the background information we want to give them. With the little ones, we feel that the parents talk to them much more about such topics, and we have to start from a completely different level. You don't have to explain the basics, because they already know that, and you can move on. This is very positive feedback for us that there is hope.